Hi everyone, this is lesson 14, Algebra 2, and this lesson is about finding the equation of a line if they give us 2 points. So the points they're giving us are -3, 2, and 3, -1. And we know that the equation for a line in y-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we have to figure out what m and b are to make that be an equation for a line. So what I've done here is I've plotted those 2 points. So we have -3, 2 right there, and then we have 3, -1 right here. And we have to try to find the slope of that line, and we go down 5 over 6, so that slope is -5, 6. All right, so slope is m in this equation, so we have m equals -5, 6. Now I have to figure out b. Sometimes we can look at the line and see where it crosses and know exactly where it crosses, but in this one, it's going to be a fraction right there. It's a fractional amount. So we're going to have to use algebra to figure that out. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our formula of y equals mx plus b, and we're going to fill in the values that we know. So we can take one of these points and fill those in for x and y. It doesn't matter which one you use, you're going to come up with the same answer either way. So we know that x and y, x would be the -3 and y would be the 2. So I'm going to put my 2 right there for y equals, m is our slope, -5, 6. Then we have to multiply that times x, because it's m times x, which will be -3, and then plus b. So now we're just solving for b. So if we do, we're going to have to multiply in here first. So negative times negative will make a positive. So 5, 6 times 3 over 1. We're going to get 2, 1. It's 5 over 2, which is the same thing as 2.5. Okay, so now we have 2 equals 2 1/2. Let's see. 2 1/2 plus b. Okay, so this 2 1/2 just came from multiplying 5, 6 times -3. All right, now we have to minus 2 1/2. And we're going to get -1/2 equals b. So our b, our y-intercept, where it crosses the y line, is going to be -1/2. And if we look on where we plotted this, you can see how that is true. So that would be -1/2 right there, halfway between 0 and -1. All right. So now we can write the equation of the line. So it would be y equals m, -5, 6, x plus b, which is -1/2. And that's the answer. Y equals -5, 6, x minus 1/2. All right, let's try another one like that. This one we get the points -3, 4, and 3, -2. So on this one, I'm not going to plot the line. I'm going to see if I can figure out the slope without plotting the line. So first thing I'm going to look for is my slope. And my slope is going to be rise over run. And that's my change in y. My rise up and down is y over my change in x. X is my run. That's how much is going back and forth. So if I look at these, I know that these first 2 are my x and these second 2 are my y, right? So here's x and here's an x value. So how much does it change from -3 to +3? Well, I know I'm going up, so it's positive, going from negative to a positive. And I'd have to go up 3 to get to 0, and then up 3 more to get to 3. So that would be 6. I would move 6 spaces to get from -3 to +3. All right, so that's my x, and that has to go on the bottom because that's my run. Now my y value goes on the top. So that would be 4 to -2. So on this one, I went down. I'm going to have a negative value. So I went from 4, +4, down to -2. So I went down 6. All right, so -6 over 6 is going to be the same thing as -1. So that means my m, my slope, is equal to -1. All right, now I have to figure out what b is, and we're going to do this just the same as before. So I'm going to pick one of these. I can pick either one. I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to say my y is 4. So I have 4 from where my y goes. Okay, equals m is -1 times x. So I use my y value here. I'm going to use my x value here, -3, plus b. Now I'm just solving for b. So -1 times -3 would be +3. Now I'm going to subtract, and that would be 1 equals b. So b is equal to 1. Okay, now I can write my equation. Y equals m, which is -1, x plus b, which is 1. I really don't need this 1 right here next to this x. I know that -1x just means the same thing as -x. So y equals -x plus b. And that would be the correct way to write that. All right, let's try a different kind. And another one kind of problem they're going to give you a point and the slope. So in example 14.2, we've got the point -4, 7 with a slope of -3/5. Now this is actually easier because we don't have to figure out what the slope is. If we do our y equals mx plus b, m we already know is equal to -3/5. Now we just have to find b. So we're going to do it the same way we did before. Here's our x value and our y value. First we're going to put in our y. Our m is -3/5. Our x is -4, and then plus b. So first we got to multiply right here. So -3/5 times 4/1, that's negative. Negative and negative make a positive. 3 times 4 is 12/5 is the answer to that. So 7 equals 12/5 plus b. Okay, now we're going to have to subtract. And 12/5 would be 2 2/5, right? Yes, 2 2/5. So 7 equals 2 2/5 plus b. Now we're going to subtract 2 2/5. And we're going to be left with, let's see, that'll be 6 and 5/5. 5 minus 2 is 3/5. 6 minus 2 is 4 3/5. Or how the book did it was they converted this into fifths. So we have 35/5. And then we subtracted 12/5. And we get 23/5 equals b. So b equals 23/5. And now we're just going to write our equation with that. Y equals m, which is -3/5, x plus 23/5, mx plus b. All right, go ahead and pause the video and do the practice problems, and then I will work them for you. Okay, so hopefully you worked all those. We're going to start with A, and A gives us 2 points, -2, 4, and 3, -1. And I know that my equation is y equals mx plus b, and the first thing I'm going to try to find is m. M is my slope. So I need my rise over run, so my change in y over x. So my change in y will be 4 to -1. I went down 5 spaces. My x will be -2 to 3. I went, let's see, I went up from -2 to 3, 5 spaces. So I've got -5/5, so that's going to equal -1. So my slope is -1. Now I have to find my b value, so I'm going to use this one right here, and I'm going to use it x and y. So the first thing I need is y, which is 4. M will be negative 1 times x, which is negative 2, plus b. Now I'll multiply right here. 4 equals negative 1. Negative times a negative makes a positive. 2 plus b. Now I'm going to subtract my 2. I'm going to get 2 equals b. So my b value is 2. Now I just have to write my equation. Y equals, m is negative 1, so I'm just going to put negative x plus 2. Right? All right, we'll try b. Okay, this one gives us the point negative 3, 6, and then it tells us that the slope is negative 2 over 3. Okay, so I already know my m equals negative 2 over 3. Now I just have to find b. So I'm going to use this in my equation. So my y value would be 6. It's negative 2/3 times my x value, which is negative 3, plus b. Alright, so now I got negative 2/3 times 3 over 1. Negative times negative makes a positive. So I know this is going to be a positive. Those cancel, and it's just 2. Y equal, or 6 equals 2 plus b. Now I'm going to subtract the 2. So b is 4. Now from that information, I can write my equation. So y equals m, which is negative 2/3, x plus b, which is 4. And there's my equation. Alright, that's it for lesson 14, and I'll be back with lesson 15. So there should be 2 videos.